guys, welcome to LG Overdrive. This is episode 9. This is the playoff preview show. I am the host, the Young Buck. With me today, I have a Salty Sailor.
Hey, I have a computer that works this week.
Awesome. Also with me, I have Bristol Linen.
What's up, everybody?
And last but not least, we have Notorious Fat.
And good evening to you all.
All right, we're going to kick it off right away. We're going to send it over to Risto with our hot team this week, which was Stockton.
Alrighty, so Stockton had a great week this week. I know they've wanted to really make playoffs. I was talking to Buck about that, and they came oh so close, to be honest. I believe it was only a couple points out, which is kind of heartbreaking for them. But at least they finished the end of the season strong, and that was a high note for them, even though they're not in playoffs to end it. Now, they actually did only lose 2 games in the West Pacific, but they played their own division, obviously, at the beginning of last week, losing to Tucson and Cleveland, both teams being fairly talented. I'm not going to showboat around my own team. I'm not like that, so I'll just talk about Cleveland. They only lost to Cleveland 8-5, which it is kind of somewhat of a blowout, but they still buried the biscuit on them a little bit there, and it wasn't too much of a, I guess, killing slaughter, whatever you want to call it.
I will tell you, I was the weak link in that game. I did not have a good game. I was letting in some bad goals.
They still beat some good lines though. Like they beat Texas 5-3. I'm just gonna quickly peek. Yeah, that's their noob slice line. That's arguably their second or third line. I think. Yeah. So that's good for beating them, and at least you guys finished on a high note. There's not much you can complain about other than not being in playoffs, I guess. So.
Fuck, I went 3-0. Like my line scored. It was so nice.
I mean, you went 6-1, so for your only loss to beat a Cleveland is not terrible.
Notorious stood on his head. He went 6-1. He guaranteed us a great week, and he had a great week.
He
So.
did say last week or not last week, 2 weeks ago, that he was not losing another game. So
I did lose games.
But you only lost 1 last week and still gave your team the best chance to win. So.
Yeah, for sure. They did very well.
All right. We're going to send it over to Salty, who's got our shitters of the week, the 0-10 Chicago Wolves.
Yeah, unfortunately, not much to say about these guys, unfortunately. They 0-10, as Buck, you stated already. They had a whopping 17 goals for, which isn't going to win very many games, especially when they didn't even average 2 goals for a team.
1.7 goals per game.
Yeah, not going to win you very many games, excuse me. They also, while averaging 1.7 goals for, they gave up 5.9 goals per game. Also not going to help them win very
That doesn't make good math. That's not good math. Yeah. 4.2 goals a game.
They had 17-4 and they gave up 59, and they were shut out the first 3 games of the week.
Well, they were just warming up though. They
were shut out by San Diego was one of them, and Bakersfield was the other. And they lost 9-5 to Iowa, which I remember. Yeah, not really going to help you win there. They had 40 losses since the start of week 4, because we all remember they started hot and they were doing well, and it was a kind of a good surprise. They had 11 losses in the first 3 weeks combined, and I'm not including overtime. I'm just going flat losses. So 11 in the first 3 weeks and 40 in the last 6.
Ouch.
I'd like to, speaking of Chicago, give a quick shout-out to Lazy, who faced a monstrous 895 shots during the season. I'm sure he's thankful that the season is over, but it doesn't hurt to ponder what could have been had they not caved into the demands of players that asked for trades.
Lazy did take home an amazing fatty, though, so good for him.
But that's the Absorber Award, right?
That's why I looked at how many shots he took to once the season was over, because I had read your article and saw you mention that.
Most absorbent.
He's the paper towel man.
He still finished with a 77 save percentage, which isn't bad.
So, same as I had. So I was second in shots against. So
He had a 3.37, I believe, which isn't great, but it's not terrible given his statistics.
Yeah.
Ending on Chicago, what turned out to be a hot start with 32 points in 3 weeks, ended up with just 35 points over the next 6 weeks. What's even worse is after a hot start, they managed to finish last in the division behind Milwaukee by not winning a single game in the final week.
That sucks.
I feel bad for Lazy, man. He really does try, like, straight up, like, they started off hot. He was feeling it, him and Falcone, and then I don't know what happened.
Well, I mean, you got Lazy, who's a stud goalie, playing really well, and then he's got his GM partner Falcone, who's a minor and is eighth at the game. So,
Hey, watch that minor shit. I'm a minor.
I think from what I also heard the other day, Falcone was doubling down. He's apparently managing St. Louis the rest of the way up in the NHL, keeping them from forfeiting. So I've heard.
Sick.
well, good for him if he's doing that.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but from what I heard from the chat box, Falcone was doubling down, managing both affiliations.
yeah, fair enough. Anything else on Chicago there? Are you good?
Not anything good,
I don't think anything else needs to be said. I think we covered it.
except for maybe, like I said, Lazy's probably thankful it's over.
Everybody take a shovel full of dirt and throw it on top of them. It's over.
All right. Well, I guess I'll send it over to Dudley for his top 10 list of the week.
Dudley?
No, Dudley? Anyone want to take over for Dudley?
Like, I could do something. Like,
Okay.
I might. Yeah, I got some. I could throw something together here.
All right. Let's see what you got, Notorious.
All right, so I guess this would be the top 10 reasons there's no Dudley on the Overdrive show tonight.
All right. Let's
All
hear
right,
it.
let's do that. So, number 10. His players left Manitoba so fast, he had to stick around and clean up to retain his damage deposit.
Shit.
Number 9. He did not have a top 10 prepared.
That's shocking.
Number 8. He's on the hunt for more of that delicious pink frosting.
Oh, God. Last week in the goddamn cake.
I saw that. That was creepy.
That was so cringeworthy.
Just the finger licking was too much for me. Number 7. Recent facial hair growth has him placed on the suspected
What's that?
That's a bleep.
Number 6. He's been deported. He was just way too Puerto Rican.
Yo, wait.
Number.
Is this legal?
Oh, it's all legal. It's all legal. There's a free forum here. We can talk what we want.
This was
Number
all been
5.
approved by Dudley, I believe.
Number 5. He went to a Mets game, died of embarrassment.
Could be worse. At least he's not a Phillies fan.
True enough.
Or a Giants fan right now.
Number 4. He's having trouble walking away from the mirror. My God, Dudley loves himself some Dudley. Number 3. Salsa dancing is life.
Oh, man.
Number 2. He's picking up his diploma at the Smartass University. And number 1. Do I get a drum roll? Thank you, guys. He finished week 9, 0-3-1. I wouldn't show my face here either.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
I finished 0-3-1, and here I am hiding behind this luscious man face.
Let's see, but you have that going on, so he's got a ways to go. He's just buzzing out right now. So
We were sharing beard pics in the chat earlier this week.
yeah, I want to touch on that, but I decided not to. I'm gonna just leave it alone. Just let it lie there. It's in the past.
That's a good list. I hope Dudley approves those, and I hope he's definitely not in Puerto Rico and was deported for some reason, or he's not being stopped by terrorist stuff. But
Got a quick
Actually, I
shout out.
remember that he's not actually Puerto Rican. That he might actually be Cuban.
Quick shout out to my good buddy Thumbs, who's watching. He just wanted to let me know that he's been doubling down managing Buffalo as well on the nights that Mindhunter can't. So,
Guys stepping up from the AHL.
And now we're going to send it over to Salty with Salty's shoutouts.
yeah, this week, I don't think that I have too many negative ones, but take them how you will. This week I got special Utica edition. My first one goes to Fourth Line for moving his real-life friend M. Wiener weeks ago, who in turn helped us make the playoffs. The guy's been huge, doing whatever's asked of him. Number 2, Kavanaugh, for his pre- and post-game rub and tugs. Well played, sir. Number 3 goes to Rectify this guy, the Generals, and it's Watkins for all helping Utica reach the postseason. They were all pretty huge, stepping in ECU-wise and winning a bunch of games.
Apparently, they're also pretty huge at playing the beta because that's all they've been doing. They were level 25 on the fucking first night.
Funny enough, all 4 of those guys I just mentioned, they all hate each other. So there's always that too. Number 4, I'd like to shout out another good buddy, Giroux, who doesn't feel the same, by the way.
Stoli the goalie.
For having as many wins as Lash and I combined. 17, just in case nobody wanted to do the math. And my last one goes to Shorty Lose. While he did not have the best season, he kept showing up to every game and never complained once. Definitely
For life.
a good player, a good guy all around. Definitely would like more of his characters on my team in the future.
Fair enough. So that's all for Salty shoutouts this week.
I can throw in a bonus one again. I'll shout out Jerome for quitting a few weeks ago and allowing half of his roster to implode so that we could make the playoffs.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's nice that Utica making the playoffs was a real community effort.
Yes.
Seems like everyone came together to fuck themselves to allow Utica in.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
They are.
It takes a village, right? It takes a village.
The comet landed in the middle of the village.
Hey, got to build a relationship. Can't make the playoffs without everybody else.
True enough.
You got to blow everybody else up first that your comet landed, right? All right, we're going to start. Before we start into our playoff predictions, just a little update on the awards. So on Monday, I will be releasing all the awards nominees. The media team has gotten together, and with the addition of now the 7th Defense, aka 7th Rockford, who is trying to start his own awards while we had already done most of it. Titus told me he had to join the committee to do the awards with us, so he has jumped along as well. So we'll be releasing all the nominees Monday morning. They'll be quite in depth, and all the criteria will be posted as well. So look forward to seeing those because there's between 5 and 8 players per award that we will be handing out that are in the nominees list. So again, that'll be coming out Monday. So look forward to that. So now moving on to playoff predictions. The big thing, we're going to start off with Western Conference.
Holy.
Wow.
And that was a summary of Stockton's season right there.
Yeah, slowly collapsing. All right, we're going to start off with Western Central just because there's no fourth line this week. And we got Rockford, First Siege versus Fourth Siege, Charlotte. So over Notorious first here.
Yeah, this series is very much a men versus boys kind of series to me. It would have probably just been easier just to give Rockford the bye. I really have no faith in Charlotte putting up any sort of a fight in the series. Like, I'm sure they'll show up, but is that going to be enough? I don't think so. I think Rockford's just way too deep, way too strong. They're probably going to steamroll them. I'm picking Rockford in 4.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going with Rockford in 5. I don't see anything possible for an upset, but you never know. But overall, Rockford's just the better team there, and the community thinks so as well looking at it. So that's what I'm going with is 5.
All right, Salty?
I'm going to have to – I mean, I like Rockford and everything they've done, but I'm going to have to take Rockford in 6.
Really, in 6?
Either way, Rockford is winning, but I don't see them winning 4 in a row. 5 maybe, but I feel like 6 is definitely a possibility.
Are you sure about that? Because my sources have told me that Charlotte has already packed up their lockers. Like that locker room is empty.
Well, I would believe that Grizz probably packed up his locker already, and he's in the Cleveland locker room. But
he's on the chair outside the room, don't you know? He's got all his equipment laying out on the chair.
I mean, Charlotte has been a decent team all year, and they didn't get 95 points for nothing. So,
yeah, fair. I think, honestly, I believe Rockford's got this in 5. I think Horty's a good enough GM that in games 3-4, when he gets the chance to line match, that when Rockford plays out their third line, I think he'll be able to squeeze out his first line again and possibly steal a win there. But otherwise, yeah, Rockford's dominating.
The advantage with the whole line matching thing with them is they play the home games. That line more often than not, they're playing all the home games. I guess I shouldn't say all the home games. So that's your advantage versus them for sure is with that.
Yeah, so KSP's lines either got games 1, 2, or 5, really.
Yeah, but Fourth Line said bore that they won't not play away games.
Yeah, they won't. They have a better advantage with them.
They barely ever play away games, so it's not. You just kind of, for the most part, can expect it.
Yeah, I mean, week 8 we played Rockford, and I assumed we were getting the ASP line, and we did. So
they're good line, but yeah, that's going to be a good series still. But it's going to be a total one-sided series.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on to our
Charlotte. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No disrespect to Charlotte, but they don't have enough firepower.
No. Moving on to our next series, we have second-seeded Cleveland Monsters versus the third-seeded Grand Rapids Griffins. I'll send it over to Risto to start this one.
All right, so for Cleveland and this Grand Rapids, this is about the closest series you're going to see the entire playoffs, I think. Skill-wise, it's just going to be a pretty crazy series. Honestly, I'm going to be happy to watch this one when I'm not playing or watching my own team. But I'm going to say Grand Rapids in 7.
Good call.
I think they're going to upset the Monsters, and it's just going to happen. It's not. I wouldn't even call it an upset, to be honest. They're both solid-ass teams.
Yeah. All right. Salty.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. I think if it wasn't for a slow start by Grand Rapids, they probably could easily be second seed, but they also didn't have some of the players they do right now, and they're loaded up front. I mean, Remy, Legacy, Casey. I mean, they can mix and match positions. Guys can play left wing. Guys can play center. I mean, let's not forget Skeezy Stone from fucking pronunciation up or whatever. Skeezo. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to have to take Grand Rapids 7 too. I think they overall have the advantage with their defense.
Notorious.
Well, I'm going the other way on this one. I do agree. This is going to be the fight that everyone wants to see. This is McGregor. And this is Mayweather. This is what everybody's coming to watch. This is going to be a great series. Couple of juggernauts going out of here. The Griffins really need to try and keep the puck in Cleveland's zone. Cleveland is really good at cycling the puck and keeping it in your zone, eating up time, and taking those good chances. They don't just take anything. They're not shooting shitters. They're passing until they have the perfect shot and they're going to score. So if Grand Rapids does not keep them out of the zone, Cleveland is going to eat them alive. But I do have Cleveland winning this one in 6, but I can't wait to watch this series. I got nothing else to do, so I'm going to be watching every game. I'm looking forward to it.
I hope that my series does go 4-0. And that series goes longer than 4 games, so I can use my time wisely.
I also think this is probably the best series that we'll see all playoffs, honestly. I have myself saying Grand Rapids is winning it in 7. As Salty mentioned, Grand Rapids is stacked offensively, top to front, But I think, and so is Cleveland. But I think the advantage is that while Cleveland has amazing scoring, their defense outside their top pair isn't that strong. So if Grand Rapids can take advantage of that, because Grand Rapids is solid, all 17 players on their roster, like they're stacked all the way down. Cleveland's got their 9 forwards, their 2 defensemen, and both goalies that are really strong. So just like as Notori said, as long as Grand Rapids keeps it in Cleveland's zone, controls the play, they can take over this series no problem.
They have to do that. If they don't, they're done.
But it depends again which Cleveland line too. Like the Stoner line will eat them alive, especially
If that puck is in Grand Rapids zone, like I expect it to be like more than half the game, it's not gonna be pretty.
No.
But if Grand Rapids can battle back and keep it in Cleveland's zone, keep it like a 50-50 split time-wise, they have a chance. And you guys could be right. I could see 7 games, but I don't see that happening. I pick 6 for Cleveland.
Yeah. And then moving on to next series, we're going to go over to the East Atlantic. First series, we have first seed Hershey Bears versus 4th seed Providence Bruins. Salty, you can start this one.
I mean, Providence, never really want to use the term, but Providence kind of choked away their positioning throughout the second half of the season, and Hershey just didn't stop losing. I'm going to have to go Hershey in 6. I mean, they have a pretty good top line in Shea, Frostick, and Vince. Yeah, I'm going to have to go Hershey in 6.
Fair enough. Notorious?
This is going to be my shocker series here. I think a lot of people are going to be all on the Hershey horse, thinking that they're going to ride strong. But I think it's just been a really good season for Mike Shea, 19, and the boys there. But they're going to lose the series. My prediction is watch for Killer Shot 6-7-8-4 to go off. I think he's going to steal those games, and Providence is going to win that series in 7.
Interesting. Bristow.
All right, so I'm going with this one for my upset. I'm going to say Providence in 6.
Okay.
Even though I said Grand Rapids was going to win, even though that's kind of an upset, I'm still not counting that as a full-on upset because those teams are pretty evenly matched.
They're close. You can interchange 2nd and 3rd. It's not going to matter.
Yeah.
All right. And myself, I have Hershey in 5. Providence was like folding between weeks 6 and 8, and they somehow like pulled it together. And because Lehigh Valley had a terrible week 9, that's the only reason why they're really in the playoffs. But yeah, no, Hershey's been solid. It really depends on Providence's goaltending to win this series for them. Honestly, their goaltending is solid, and that's the only thing they really have got. Moving on to the battle of 2nd and 3rd in the Atlantic. Another top series is 2nd seed of Wilkes-Barre Scranton versus 3rd seed of Hartford Wolfpack. Notorious.
Another tight series. 2nd and 3rd seeds, when they get together, the teams are pretty even, right? So I predict we're going to see some close games here. If we do see close games, that favors Hartford. If it becomes a score fest, like a slug fest, Wilkes-Barre Scranton wins it easy. But if Hartford can keep it tight, sort of clog it up and just kind of keep the scores low, they have a chance. I'm not picking them. I'm picking Wilkes-Barre Scranton in 6 because I was on Wilkes-Barre Scranton last year. Like I was fully on their bandwagon, rode them hard. I'm gonna do that again this year. You get the benefit of the doubt 2 years in a row, guys. So Wilkes-Barre Scranton in 6.
All right, Risto.
All right, I'm going to go with Wilkes-Barre as well in this one. I'm actually going to say 5. I don't know. I just got this eerie feeling from last season. I did a lot of commentary on these guys and watched them. It's not the same team, but it's similar, I guess, in a way. And I just feel it, man. There's that tingly feeling you got in your stomach when you see a team, and I'm going with that.
Okay. Salty.
Again, Hartford, another team that didn't fare so well down the stretch, and Wilkes-Barre came in hot. But I'm gonna go with Hartford in 7. I think Faces is gonna steal one.
I also have Hartford in 7. I think the big thing here is that Hartford hasn't been scoring lately. That's why they dropped all the way from 1st to 3rd. Faces tells me every day, like, Hartford doesn't score, they don't shoot. if they can do that in the playoffs and Tatar and Faces keep playing the way they have been, which is phenomenal in like the last couple of weeks, they'll be fine. They should be able to take it. But yeah, Hartford and 7 for me.
What about that goalie controversy, though?
Oh, they're both number ones now.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
No, they can
Playing
both
with
play Game 7. That'll be fine.
I was playing with them in the beta 6s earlier. Tatar was center, Faces was left wing. I was in net, so.
That's not going to happen in the playoffs, though.
Moving back over to the West, we're going to go over first-seeded Tucson, fourth-seeded Texas. Risto, you're starting at this time.
I'm not going to make a prediction on this one.
No, but you can talk about the series.
All right, I'll talk about it. So we're going – my own team here going up against Texas. Overall, over the season, we've been 2-2 here. They played us in week 1. We struggled quite a bit in week 1, so us keeping it – I think it was a fairly close game for the most part. I was kind of happy with that. But I'm hoping to win, obviously, as always, but you never know, I guess. You just got to keep working.
Fair enough. Salty.
You care to elaborate on your game 1 line there, Risto?
I don't know if I have a game 1 line. I don't know what you mean.
Nobody's watching. No pressure.
He doesn't have a game 1 line. Texas wins by forfeit.
No, not.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Salty.
I think Tucson in 5. I think Texas will probably try to line match as best as they can, and I see Junior Hawk winning a game, his line. But I feel like Texas will be out before he gets to play a second one. And if he does play a second one, it's going to be against a tough Tucson defensive game or a top line. So I don't see Texas winning 2 games. So Tucson in 5.
All right. Notorious?
Texas is wounded. They're wounded badly, and they backed into the playoffs. They're lucky to be there. I'm telling you right now. Roadrunners smell blood, and they are going to take advantage of that. The Roadrunners are going to win in 4. Beep, beep.
I have Tucson in 6. I think that the Junior Hawk line will play 2 games in the first 4 and steal both games because that line is absolutely insane. But yeah, otherwise they're gonna waste all their like his games in the first 4 games, and then they'll be fucked after that. So Tucson in 6. Moving on to another somewhat decent middle pack series. We got the 2nd-seeded San Diego Gulls versus the 3rd-seeded San Antonio Rampage. Salty, you can start us off this one.
San Antonio started coming a little bit hot there at the end of the season. I'm going to take this one as my upset and San Antonio in 7. As much as I hate to do that to my other good buddy Cav, I don't know if that loss of Smoskowitz is going to hurt them or not, but we'll see. I'm going to take San Antonio in 7 as my upset of the week.
All right, Notorious.
San Diego came into the playoffs, I believe, kind of cold. So I'm looking for the Rampage to try and jump on them early, try and take that control and lead it from the beginning to the end. So I'm going to take San Antonio in 6.
All right, Risto. Oh, Risto's gone.
Yeah, before you jump in there, Buck, I think it's really going to come down to Meyer and how he plays his lines. We all know he's notorious, no pun intended, on dodging big games. So it's going to come down to how he manages the away games without that advantage of line matching, and then how he manages the home games since he only gets 3. That's going to be the key of the series, though.
Well, I honestly, like, my thought for Mayor Topcat is that, like, he's punted a lot this season, but, like, he would play a lot of, like, top teams when he had the chance, too. So it wasn't exactly their top lines, but he'd play the top teams.
Yeah, I'm not taking that away from him, but I mean, at least the first 3 weeks of the season when he was still undefeated, he was definitely scrub hunting until he was out of shit for it. I mean, the perfect example is week 2, his line was in the game, and they were 5-0, and Lash and I were in the game, and we were both 0-4, and he took himself out because we didn't have a win, and he didn't think it would be fun.
Oh my god. I personally have San Diego in 5 games, even though they went in cold and San Antonio went in hot. San Antonio's got 1 line, the Mayor Top Cat, Reggie Hauser line. Besides that, their other lines haven't done crap all season. They're lucky to have been in the playoffs, even though they picked it up in the last few weeks. But the goaltending in San Diego has been solid. Dooman has played well all season long. And I think with that first line of Buddy Wackett in San Diego, that line will just destroy them. They'll probably get 2 games in the first 5. So,
Yeah.
that line.
It's going to be interesting to see how Brown plays. I know he hasn't been what he was last season with San Diego.
Moving back over to the East, we lost Risto. We got the first-seeded Rochester Americans versus the 4th-seeded Utica Comets. Notorious, you want to start on that one?
Well, maybe Salty should cover his ears here.
I don't think he wants to. It says it on his little thing.
Earmuffs, Salty. Okay, so I'll make this short and sweet. The Comets, they're going to battle
how the series is going to go.
I know Salty's not going to let his guys quit. I know he went through some issues with losing a couple guys that have been banned now, so he's going to have to scramble to get some things going. But they'll battle, but Rochester is just going to dominate, unfortunately. I don't even have Utica winning a game, so I got Rochester in 4. As much as I hate to do that, but it is what it is. So good luck to you, Salty.
I also have Rochester in 4.
Jesus Christ!
With the recent banning of the #1 goalie, A Living Pylon, and their second leading scorer, Gilbsy, I don't think that they stand much of a chance, even if Salty decides to call up his draft pick goalie that he does have on his TC. Luckily that draft pick goalie played on B Major's team in the CHL, and they were eliminated first round, so you can call him with no worries. But yeah, Rochester nearly won the Presidents. Their team's just as stacked as Rockford or Cleveland, so I don't think Utica's got much chance.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We're Canadian. I'm going to say sorry.
I'll send it to you, though.
I've been adamant in saying that it's a huge accomplishment for myself just to even make playoffs. My goal is to not get swept, even as much as I'm thinking it with you guys. We did play Rochester 5 times. We played them tough in 4 of the 5 games, -1 where we got blown out. And we even did win a game, which I was in. I'm taking Rochester, but I think they win in 5. I think we get at least 1.
Fair. There's some belief.
I hope you do.
And we also took them to overtime on Wednesday, which we were winning 4-3. But I've had such great luck this season with goalies not being able to make the timely saves when they count. And they tied the game with a failed deke attempt in the slot with 10 seconds left. That
I hate those.
Slowly rolled towards the far post. And then we
Notorious dealt with that this week, too, in our game.
So,
it happens. Hey, what are you going to do?
I mean, Thumbs and Zaka, we talked after the game, and they were both not happy with the way their team played. So I feel like with having the home advantage in 3 and 4, if they haven't played their third line yet, we might be able to steal one there. It's going to be a tough series for sure, though, but I don't see a scenario where we move on, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Moving on to our last matchup, we have the 2nd-seeded Albany Devils versus the 3rd-seeded Binghamton Senators. Salty, you can kick it off this time.
All right. I'm going to go with Albany in 7. I think Binghamton has had a few issues in week 8 into 9 or week 9. I'm not sure. I know a couple players either went on IR or supposedly quit. I'm not sure what the issue is there. Also factoring in Darcy Kemper's partying after games. I don't see him being coherent enough to steal a game.
He stole 2 games last week after drinking 12 beers in an hour and 10 minutes.
This is all news to me. I may need to change my predictions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Albany in 7, regardless of the issues going on in Binghamton right now. I don't see them just rolling over and dying, especially since it's a division rival.
Fair enough. Notorious?
Don't see Binghamton moving on, but I don't see them winning. A D-Dot for Albany is just a stud. Haven't been able to solve him at all.
Yeah. I've written about him more than once this year. So this is all news to me about the Darcy Kemper thing. Number one, I'm calling a sponsor. Okay? We're going to get that fixed. So he may not play playoffs. He may be locked up again. He may be going back to rehab.
It's a possibility.
So I had originally, before I heard this earth-shattering news, had Binghamton winning the series. But now that I'm hearing this,
it's breaking, and you heard it here first.
Switch it up, 180. We're going with Albany. So, and I'm gonna pick Albany because of Adidas. That guy is great. I must have written about him 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times this year, about having great weeks. So it's apparent he knows what he's doing. I was not prepared for that, but I'm now gonna go Albany, Darcy.
Shame on you, Darcy.
Shame, Darcy.
And of course, as always,
I'm calling him right now.
I only pick Albany in 7, not shorter, because I'm not sure which one of the games that Dan Hutton's going to dodge, but he's going to dodge one of them.
They should make an LG dodgeball league.
Can't have.
There'd be some superstars in that league, I'm telling you.
Mayor
Tomcat, Dan
Hutton would lead the other side.
So I will pick Albany, but I'm going to pick him in 6.
I'm sure I'll get grief for mentioning Dan Hutton dodging on this show. I'm sure he'll come at me with some sort of second tagging allegations, since that's all he has and can't let it go.
Fair enough. I also have Albany in 6. As Salty has said, Darcy has been our drinking, partying extraordinaire in the last couple weeks. Doing case races with his buddies on Xbox and in the management chat and his buddies in real life. Doing down in cases of 12 and 24 within like 2 hours before the first game. Like, he's just chugging them back. I think he's drinking water, honestly. I don't think he's drinking beer at that point. But yeah, Albany, as everyone else said, but Dan Hutton has been fantastic all season, even though they dodge all the tough games. And Adidas stood on his head, plus the addition of some players like Lost and Hungry, who they got from Stockton. I think Notorious is actually calling Darcy his sponsor right now. But seems like, yeah, I got Albany in 6. I'm just watching Notorious. I think he's on the phone right now with Darcy's sponsor. Look at that, Salty.
What's up?
He's on the phone with Darcy's sponsor.
What's the word, Bert?
Yeah, they're on their way right now. Darcy, if you're home, like, just stay there. They'll be there in like 10 minutes. Okay, they're coming. They're gonna help you, and everything's gonna be fine, man. It's just another 28 days. 28 days, man. You can do this. You can do this. You got this, brother.
Remember, first step is admitting you have a problem.
I will deliver your fatty to the rehab center. No problem.
Except in Darcy's case, he's going to chug a 12-pack before he admits he has a problem.
He needs the courage. Let me have some of this liquid courage. Oh.
Then he'll punch a hole through his door and then say, I have courage. Too bad Rista wasn't here because he'd jump on that too. But without much else, good luck to everybody in the playoffs in week 1, in round 1 of playoffs. Salty definitely needs it. Otherwise, I hope we get to talk to you guys about round 2. I hope you guys do like the award nominations that are coming out Monday. They'll be in depth with a lot of criteria and a lot of reasons why they are nominated. And we'll catch you guys next week for episode 10 and the wrap up from week 1 and our predictions for week 2. We'll see you guys next week, and peace.